Hey there, Norman here from WoCode, and today we're going to be discussing the FX Fog Widget. The FX Fog Widget displays a soft background effect of slow rolling fog. This is a great choice for those wanting to add subtle movement to the background of a hero image or an important row. You can also adjust the speed and size of the fog for a more intense effect as well. So let's head over to the builder and take a look at how we set this widget up. Here in the builder, we have our painter template, and if we scroll down here to the Why Choose Us section, I'd like to liven up this section's background with the FX Fog widget to provide some color and movement to the site. With the FX Fog widget, we can adjust the settings to achieve an effect that looks similar to liquid, with the end goal to make it look like there's paint flowing behind the text to match the theme of the site. So let's jump into the widget panel here and let's grab our FX Fog widget, and we can drag and drop this right into that section. And it should be noted that this black widget placeholder will not be visible on a published site, only within the builder and on the preview site. From here, we can take a look at the content panel within the widget. We only have the one apply to option, which provides a drop down of different elements that you can apply this widget to. Most of these are self-explanatory, and for this demo, we'll leave this as the current row option. However, I did want to highlight one option specifically in this list. That is the entire page option. This applies the background effect to the entire page. In this case, the widget may be placed anywhere on the page except for the header or footer. Placing the widget in the header or footer will result in the effect being applied to the background of every page on the site. I did want to note, however, that this widget is quite GPU heavy, so it's only recommended to use the entire page option on short single pages. Longer pages with the entire page option enabled will see reduced page speeds. That being said, we'll click current row and we could jump into the design panel and take a look at the settings in there. In here, we can style the widget. However, you may be noticing something, which is that we cannot currently see the fog effect in this section. This simply goes back to that note about the widget being quite GPU heavy. If this behavior occurs for you, you can simply refresh the builder and that widget will then load correctly, as you'll see here. And now if we scroll down, we'll see that fog effect is now displaying correctly. So let's open that design panel one more time. Let's take a look at these options starting from the top and working our way down. The first one we have is the blur effect. This will set how much blur is applied to the fog. For this example, I want to set this to be 57. Following that, we have fog zoom. This will adjust how zoomed in the fog is. You can see this demonstrated here if I set this to 0 compared to if I set this all the way up to 300. You can see there's quite a difference depending on how much or how little zoom you apply to the fog. For this example, we'll set this to 100. And then we have the fog speed. This sets how fast or slow the animation will occur. For this example, we'll set this to be 170. Next, we'll add our colors to the widget. You have 4 different colors you can change that will affect the fog. For this example, we're going for subtle, and we want the text to pop off the background. So for the base color, we'll open this up, and we'll set that color to be D3F5DA. For our highlight color, we'll set that color as FFC0B4. The midtone, FFDDD8. And our low light color will be FF7979. So with that color applied, now we can close these out. We can come up here and grab our preview link. From the preview URL, we can scroll down and we'll see that our FX Fog widget is looking great and has that nice, subtle, animated background in the row. Once again, I do just want to reiterate that this black widget placeholder will not be visible on the published site, only in the builder and the preview site. One thing to note, as you may have noticed, as I scrolled down, the FX Fog widget took a split second to appear. This is simply due to how GPU intensive this widget is, which I've mentioned already. If you find this to be an issue on your site, one of the potential remedies would be to simply head back into the builder, select the row with the FX widget, and then apply an entrance animation. This will give a nice animation to that row that will help mask that split second that widget needs to load. If I go back into the builder and demonstrate this very quickly, we can right click this row, animate, entrance, fade in, come back to the preview, reload the page, and as we scroll down, we'll see that that background fades in and it's much nicer on the eyes, and that moment of loading is now masked and it's not visible to the site visitor. Speaking of the GPU intensity of this widget, which I've touched on briefly throughout the video, it's important to note that while it is possible to use multiple FX Fog widgets on the same page, we do not recommend using more than one instance of this widget on a page. The reason for this is that the widget requires a significant amount of graphic processing power, and multiple instances of GPU hungry effects can result in slower page speeds on older machines or machines with slower GPUs. And that's it for the FX Fog widget. As you can see, it is a very simple widget, but one that can add a ton of life to a site. With that, my name is Norman Durkee, and you've been rocking with the best website builder platform on the planet, wocode.com. And until next time, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to support. We're always here to help.